put together a chart in terms of one gauge of risk perception, and our clients can do exactly that on their Bloomberg G-Space, hashtag BTV Space 2850. Those are your 12-month Riyal, Qatari Riyal and Saudi Riyal forwards. And what I'm going to point out here is that for the most part, they've been moving in lockstep. You see that latest spike here in the Qatari Riyal forwards, while the Saudi Riyal forwards have stabilized. How long do you expect this to drag on, Monica?
Well, I think, of course, as long as you have these geopolitical developments, there is going to be pressure, especially on the offshore market for the Qatari Riyal. We continue to reiterate our view that the pegs will remain in place. The central bank highlights its commitment and continues to provide enough dollar liquidity to the Qatari banks to meet economic and commercial needs. So there is a disconnect between the offshore market and the onshore market. But of course, as we see the tensions continuing, that will be reflected in the offshore market.
As we get closer to the World Cup 2022, some of the major construction projects in Qatar, what is going to happen to Qatar's funding needs? For the moment, your research points out they are resilient, they can cope, but for how long?
Well, they have very deep FX reserve pockets, but the critical question is that they need to have access to foreign funding. They will not want to draw down all their FX reserves, especially their liquid ones. In the short term, as you mentioned, we feel that the economic impact is manageable, and I think what you will see policymakers in Qatar do is shore up banking sector deposits. We expect to see, as the months go on, increase in government deposits in the banking sector, and the more that they can show that the economic impact is contained, that will be supportive of getting foreign funding from Asia, particularly, which has been an important source going forward. However, we do expect a slowdown in real non-oil activity, again contained, but for example, last year, real non-oil GDP was around 5.6%. We've already seen a moderation in 1Q, even before these challenges came up, but we could see real non-oil GDP slow down to around 3.5 to 4% in our estimates, and a slowdown in construction activity is critical. One is, as funding sources for new projects have to be found, which will be more difficult in this environment, and secondly, slowdown of project awards, but also current ongoing projects as there's delays to construction material coming in.